The Angels started off their road trip with a blast, but had to squeeze out a win at the end to remain in good standing. Now, finally back off the road, the Halos look to start a homestand with another bang. Mariners and Angels is next. Always great to come home, especially after a three-city long road trip. While 5-5 may not sound good, considering the places that the Angels went, the games that were played, not bad overall. You'll take 500 on the road as long as you play 750 here at home. And tonight we'll kick off a three-game set against the visiting Seattle Mariners. We welcome you inside our broadcast booth. Victor Rojas along with Mark Gubiza. Glad you could join us as always for Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West. And as I mentioned, a 5-5 record may not sound sexy, but overall, as far as the pitching is concerned, and in particular the starting pitching, it's been pretty good over the last week and a half.
Yeah, Victor, they've thrown the ball very well. The four quadrants in the strike zone, they've been hitting it consistently, giving the team a chance to win 5 of those 10 games. Otherwise, if they weren't pitching well, it might be a different story. But when you look at what they did, Weaver threw the ball very well. He was unbelievable in 7 innings yesterday. Just 1 earned run allowed. Fastball velocity was much better for him. Garrett Richards, speaking of fastball velocity and his curveball action, very good for himself. Hector Santiago, 92, 95, consistently with his fastball. And then the other guys in the rotation from Tropiano, Nick Tropiano threw the ball very well. 1-0 on the season on the road with an ERA 0.84. He's taking the hill tonight. Matt Shoemaker's throwing the ball well too. Just look at those numbers. The last 11 games, starting ERA 2.14, which is best in the American League, 3rd best overall. The Chicago Cubs and the Washington Nationals with better. And they're also throwing a lot of strikes. It's 2 walks per game.
Halos get a reprieve. No Felix Hernandez. He got scratched because of an illness. He'll go tomorrow night. And Nick Tropiano will toe the slab tonight. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A. Sit back and relax. Going to bring you the lineups and the first pitch when we return. This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Hyundai. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. By Jack in the Box. Taste the Baconlicious Sourdough Bacon Ranch Combo. Only at Jack in the Box. And by the Jeep Renegade. Find your inner Renegade and reach your highest potential with an EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon. It's a 6-game homestand for the Angels, 3 against the Seattle Mariners, 3 against the Kansas City Royals, and it's back out on the road as the Angels have taken the field. Manager Mike Scioscia and Scott Service, along with the umpiring crew, going over through the ground rules here at the Big A. Scott Service, of course, in his first season managing the Seattle Mariners, and he was named the skipper after Jerry Dipoto took over the general manager duties. Scott's never managed at any level, but he is doing a fine job so far to start. They've played very good baseball out on the road to start this year. At home, a little different story. They're 1-5 at Safeco, 6-3 out on the road. As we take a look at Services starting lineup for the Seattle Mariners at 7-8 to start this season. Nori Aoki leading things off at left, Seth Smith in right field. Robinson Cano, he's the second baseman. Nelson Cruz, the cleanup hitter at DH. Kyle Seager, the third baseman. Adam Lind is at first. Chris Iannetta, the former Angel, behind the plate. Leonis Martin, the former Texas Ranger, in center field. And Ketel Marte, really good look at shortstop. Switching at shortstop, he will bat ninth and play short for the Seattle Mariners. They're taking on Nick Tropiano. He's making his third start. This, of course, is Andrew Heaney's spot in the rotation. Heaney on the 15-day disabled list. And you know what? Nick has not skipped a beat whatsoever. He's thrown the ball very well.
Yeah, continue what he did last year. The success he had into this season is very good so far with a 1-0 record. ERA 0.84. But my go-tos for Nick to be successul today are way and down, especially with the fastball and curveball, even changeup, and Cano has to be known. Robinson Cano, 6 home runs this year, a career .296 hitter with 14 home runs against the Halos. So you want to avoid him, especially in RBI situations.
Let's take a look at the defense behind Tropiano. You've got Rafael Ortega in left field, Mike Trout at center, Cole Calhoun in right. The infield has Junel Escobar, Andrelton Simmons, Johnny Giavatello, and C.J. Cron from third to first. Carlos Perez behind the plate.
And Ortega, we saw that arm on display on this past road trip. A very good arm. 1 outfield assist, first in his career in the big leagues, but 37 outfield assists over a 2-year period in single-A ball back in 2011 and 12. He's that good as far as his arm action.
13 was the injury-plagued season for him, missing a bulk of time. And, of course, he played AAA with the St. Louis Cardinals last year. The first one tonight is down low. Nori Aoki, the 34-year-old veteran. 226 this year so far. A couple of doubles, couple of triples. 4 runs batted in. And he'll drive one out toward right, toward the corner. Hit very well. Cole Calhoun is not going to get there. Off the base of the wall. Aoki's on his way to second. It is a leadoff double.
Well, you talk about getting a fastball and it was down, that part of the zone where he's going to make good contact. Talked about wanting to go down and away. That was down and in. Aoki crushed that ball right at the wall, the short wall in right field. Cole did a nice job of getting that baseball back in quickly. But a .375 career hitter against the Angels.
A little meeting with the umpires here. It's Bill Miller, the crew chief, talking with Service. Not sure what the conversation is about, but all 4 umpires gathering on the infield grass.
And they're going to get back and discuss what seems to be the issue. We're going to talk to Mike Scioscia right now also.
Brian Knight will explain whatever it is to Scioscia.
When you look at the lineup card, that's what you wonder if somebody's batting the right order or whatever that may be.
Or one batter in.
Yeah, but unless they don't have it in, maybe doesn't have them in the top part of the order or something. I don't know what it could be the discussion, especially when an umpire brings out that card.
Which I understand. If the Angels had come out and said something, then I could understand that being a part of it. But that was just the umpires gathering there. Maybe we'll get an explanation a little bit later on. Or maybe Twitter will figure it out here in about 5 minutes. Either way, Nori Aoki has a leadoff double. And now he's picked up a hit in all 9 games in which he has played against the Angels. Man at second, Seth Smith. the man at the plate. He's the right fielder. He'll take inside. 3 infielders on the right side. Giavattel out in shallow right against the left-hand hitting Smith. Double, a home run, 5 RBIs, and a .300 batting average.
I would consider at some point Tropiano and Simmons trying to pick off.
Big lead for Aoki. Cute foul. Sound like he got that one toward the end of the bat. And he may have broken it. Yep.
Especially a changeup the pitch before, followed by a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. And what you do as a pitcher, you look back at your infielder, and there's a sign, whether it's the touching the leg, the hat, or just the flash of the glove. You just got to keep your eye on the shortstop at this point here for Simmons, because he's close to the base with the shift on. He's doing a good job as far as having a conversation. Is saying, hey, listen, I'm gonna put a pickoff on. Just watch.
One ball, one strike on Smith. 248 last year with 12 home runs and 42 runs batted in for Seattle. Now it's upstairs. Since we've addressed the umpires, we'll give you their positioning tonight. Mentioned Brian Knight behind the plate. Todd Titchener at first. Bill Miller, the crew chief, at second. And Pat Hoberg at third base. That's the umpiring crew for the weekend series. Two, one, flip foul and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So far this year, when Nick Tropiano's been behind in the count against left-handed batters, he will throw his changeup quite a bit. 25% of the time when he's behind in the count. Same thing with his curveball. So as a hitter, you're generally looking fastball. But Tropiano so far, 45% of his pitches will be off speed when he's behind in the count, pitching backwards.
Making his first start at home this year. His first 2 starts of the season out on the road at Oakland and Minnesota. Aoki doubling off the base of the wall. The short ball in the right field corner. His 3rd of the year. Full count. Tropiano go with the breaking ball instead. Mariners have struggled offensively. You look at the numbers across the board, similar to that of the Angels as a team, a .222 average. Certainly hit more home runs than the Angels. Hit 19 to the Angels 7. Fared better so far against a little bit better against righties and lefties. For the Angels, it's the other way around. And there's a walk. So 2 on. Not what you wanted to do. With Robinson Cano coming to the plate.
Exactly what I was talking about as far as go-tos to try to avoid. Robinson Cano, if you get Seth Smith out, you can be careful with Robinson Cano. Make him chase something out of the strike zone. Let him be overly aggressive. Now you have to attack him.
First and second, nobody out. Robinson Cano up. 33-year-old, now his 3rd season with Seattle. Takes a strike. 21 home runs last season, 79 RBIs. He has 6 already this year, and 14 runs batted in.
He has rolled into 2 double plays.
This is a little looper out to right field. It's a base hit. Late start for Aoki, and he started to be waved home, and then the brakes are put on quickly. And Seattle has them loaded here with nobody out. You
see right there being waved home by Manny Acta, and then he stops him at that point brings him back because he saw he got not a great start. Then you also have Nelson Cruz coming up after.
The DH cleanup hitter. Outside. Cruz hitting .271, 6 doubles, a couple of home runs, 7 runs batted in. Tropiano in some trouble here. Leadoff double followed by the walk, and then the base hit, broken bat base hit off the bat of Cano. Outfield straight around. Good off speed pitch. A lot of power in the bat for Nelson Cruz.
And mindset for Nick Tropiano right now is limit damage. Give up a run for a double play ball right here. Have trust in your offense. You're going to score some runs in this game, even though they're facing a tough one in Iwakuma.
Out to right field. This will chase Cole back a little bit. He's underneath and makes the catch. Aoki's coming in to score. Smith on his way to third. Seattle with a 1-0 lead as Cruz picks up his 8th RBI.
Good throw in from Cole to throw that ball towards the second base area. That way you keep Robinson Cano at first. You keep a double play in order. You're not going to be able to throw out Smith at third. In case he stumbles, you might still have a shot, especially when the baseball's thrown into Simmons.
Tropiano facing 7 left-handed batters, 6 natural lefties, 1 switch hitter, and then 2 righties at Nelson Cruz and Chris Iannetta. Kyle Seager, the third baseman, off to a slow start. Takes downstairs.
Lefty's hitting .300 against Tropiano this year as compared to .227 for right-handed batters.
Seth Smith over at third, Cano at first. 1-0 Seattle. We're in the first inning. 2-0. Seager hitting .145 with a couple of home runs, 6 runs batted in. 26 home runs last year. 74 runs batted in. Trying to leave on that swing. 2-1. Eight balls, 8 strikes so far for Tropiano. Shift is on with Seager at the plate. Off the plate. 3-1 count.
Seen a lot of all-speed pitches from Tropiano behind in the count. Would not be surprised if you see a changeup or curveball here.
Another lefty on deck, and Adam Lind. Oh, it's on the corner. Full count.
That was his changeup. Very comfortable throwing his changeup. 3-1. It's the benefit of that call. Looked like it might have been about a half a baseball off the corner.
Big alley in left center field. Trout shading Seager to pull a little bit. So he's over toward right center. Pickoff attempt and safe at first. Boy, had him leaning a little bit. Dino hustling down to get the phone.
CJ Cron wants him to look in. You can see right away he was looking right into the dugout. Leaning to go. Quick footwork. He's going. Well, that's real close. See if he gets his hand back.
I think he may have.
Yeah, I think he just barely got his hand back. Real close.
Throw up just a little bit. Get that throw down closer to the shoulder area. Maybe you get him. Cano takes off. 3-2. Walked.
That's a good pitch too. Right lower part of the strike zone. Didn't get the call. He got the call to pitch before. Didn't get that one though.
So 2 walks, 2 hits, bases loaded once again. And Adam Lind coming to the plate. Visit by Charles Nagy. The Seattle Mariners have come into play today, hitting .204 with men in scoring position, 1 for 8 with the bases loaded. That remains the same with the sac fly by Cruz a couple of batters ago. Adam Lynn, the first baseman, 32-year-old, .220 average. Swing and a miss. Last year with Milwaukee, hit .277 with 20 home runs and 87 runs batted in. Picked up in a deal with the Brewers this offseason. Got off to a slow start. He was 1 for his first 17, but picked up the pace, going 8 for his last 24. Smith at third, Cano at second, Seager at first. No balls, 2 strikes.
Back-to-back changeups against him.
Nothing firm yet on the inside part of the plate.
I don't know if I would do that yet now, especially 0-2.
Breaking ball. I'm just talking about in general to any of the lefties.
No.
We haven't seen anything to a stat because everyone seems to be kind of looking out a little bit.
He has that good 2-seam fastball that he can run in on the hip. And also will throw that 4-seam fastball that will stay true to keep him honest. A lot of times in that first inning as a starting pitcher, it's just about feel. Try to get through there. And obviously right away, a double, leadoff double. And then a walk to Seth Smith. Took him out of his game plan.
Long top of the first, trying to keep it a 1-0 deficit. He can get a double play ball. This one's out to center. Not going to get the double play. He'll get the second out. Smith will tag as Trout makes the catch. The throw comes to second. Cano does not advance to third. 2 down.
And Trout was content to throw the ball to second to keep a force out in order, but Cano did not tag up.
Seager was tagging from first, thinking he might advance to second, or at least give it a look or bluff.
Especially as a base runner, you know Trout's going to catch that baseball. You might as well get back to the base and see if you can at least draw a throw to third base. Instead, Trout throws the ball right to second.
2 outs, 2 on, 2-0 Seattle. Chris Iannetta takes a strike. Chris now 33 years of age. 3 seasons with the Angels last year. Hit 222, pardon me, 188. 10 home runs and 34 RBIs. He's hitting 222 now. A couple of home runs. No balls, 2 strikes.
Speaking of Mike Trout's throwing arm, a career high 7 assists for him in the outfield last year. Done a nice job as far as long tossing to build that arm strength. Certainly that conversation goes around as far as scouting that you can't necessarily feel comfortable trying to take an extra base against him anymore with that arm strength he's developed.
Called strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night as Chris Iannetta goes down looking. 2 runs in for Seattle. We'll head to the bottom of first. Angels down. Faces 7 batters and allows 2 runs at the top of the first inning. We'll take a look at Mike Scioscia's lineup. As the Angels come into this one with a 7-9 record. Yunel Escobar leading things off at third base. Rafael Ortega seeing action for the first time at home. Here's the left fielder. Mike Trout at center. Albert Pujols at DH. Cole Calhoun at right. Andrelton Simmons the shortstop. C.J. Cron at first. Carlos Perez the catcher. Johnny Giavatello batting ninth. And he will play second base. Taking on the 35-year-old right-hander native of Tokyo, Japan. Hisashi Iwakuma is his name.
Iwakuma, fastball so far this year, 87 to 90. Will throw a slider, cut fastball, split finger fastball, occasional curveball. My go-tos against Iwakuma to be successful: don't chase that split. Very rarely in the strike zone and look away. A lot of his pitches, fastballs, cut fastballs, curveball, even a split on the outer part of the plate.
Escobar swinging first pitch, fouls it back. Yunel hitting .258 with a home run and 5 runs batted in. A little bit of a slump for him. He's 0 for his last 16. With 1 hit in the Chicago series. That was the first at-bat of the series. This one's fouled off. And it is 0-2 as that ball ricochets off. Had to have been a Mariners fan's hand. Count remains at 0-2. I kid because I love.
You do.
Halos 2 and 4 here at home. 5 and 5 out on the road. Breaking pitch, a ground ball to the right side. Cano's not going to get there, and there you go. Snap the 0 for 16. Pitch that was up. Escobar picks up a knock, and we'll take a look at the Mariners defense. Aoki in left, Martin at center, Smith in right. It's Seager, Marte, Cano, and Lynn from third to first, and Iannetta behind the plate.
And Robinson Cano playing that second base position, involved in the shift at that point was away from his normal position. He's won 2 Gold Gloves back in 2010, 2012. That's your second highest fielding percentage amongst second basemen, and he was dealing with some injuries throughout the entire season. Still good range for Robinson Cano. Really surprised they're playing Escobar with that far up the middle, considering how many hits he's had to the other way.
Rafael Ortega, first plate appearance here at home as an Angel, fouls this one off. 2 for 13. Picked up his first big league RBI a couple of games ago. Called up prior to last Saturday's game in Minneapolis, with Daniel Nava being placed on the 15-day disabled list. We've seen action in left, as has Craig Gentry. Top part of the strike zone, it's 0-2.
Seen so far 86 miles an hour as far as velocity on the fastball from Iwakuma, which is down a little bit this season so far. It does get the upper part of the strike zone. It's down about a mile, mile and a half as far as his average fastball.
One and two. Iwakuma has made 3 starts. He's worked a total of 18 innings. He's given up 22 hits. He's still struck out 15. He's walked 6.
He's also allowed 3 stolen bases in 4 attempts. Generally very difficult to steal against. In his career, he's only allowed 19 stolen bases.
Remember, he was a free agent last offseason. Had a deal in place with the Dodgers. That deal got nixed. Ended up re-signing with the Mariners.
Fields his position very well, but I've noticed so far a little higher leg kick than normal from the stretch position. Used to kind of drift forward. Reason why, you know, there was discussion about his elbow and how strong that is. Want to get more behind the throw.
Only made 20 starts last year. Spent some time on the disabled list with a right lat strain. 1-2, and this is line to left. It's a base hit for Ortega. So the Angels have their first 2 on board for Mike Trout.
In my Hyundai key for this game tonight for the Angels, going a little AC/DC. Are you ready? Well, you put yourself in position to be ready right now with Mike Trout, who has been swinging the bat very well. 5 hits in his last 2 games, including a 2-run home run yesterday.
On board 4 times yesterday, the 2 for 2 with 2 walks. Five hits over the last 2 games. Home run he hit yesterday, his second of the year, now with 6 RBIs, and he's taken the batting average up to 286. Takes a strike. Escobar at second, Ortega at first. That's in tight, gets away from Iannetta.
Going to run that 2-seam fastball in. Iannetta could not control that baseball.
Trout, a .222 hitter against Iwakuma.
Struggles so far with runners in scoring position, but now getting that swing together, it's all about his timing and that foot down.
That's out to left field. It'll stay in the yard. Aoki is there, makes the catch. 1 down. Trout got jammed.
It had late movement on it. That's the only reason why they came in and stayed in the ballpark. He's got that foot down. The stride a little bit longer than normal. Got in there just enough. Not on the barrel of the bat, just below that. Kept it in the yard. You see the reaction by Trout. He knew he had a pitch to do some damage. Didn't quite get the barrel of the bat out. Still a little bit longer on the stride as he's got that foot down after the leg kick.
Albert hitting 148 with a couple of home runs, 10 runs batted in. He's got a couple of men on with 1 out, and the Angels down 2-0. Albert 0 for 4 yesterday. The Angels with a total of 6 hits. Halos come into this ball game with a .248 average with men in scoring position. Back up the middle, Cano near the bag has it. Flips it to Marte. Low throw, dug out by Lynn, and they call out Albert. Albert saying that Lynn's foot came off the bag. As it stands right now, it's a double play. Scioscia is going to have the guys downstairs take a look at it.
See if Lynn was able to keep his foot on the base. What a play by Robinson. Cano, then a perfect flip over to Marte. Wide throw. Did he have that control of the baseball? That's the big thing, is he's trying to stretch. Looked like he did.
He's off the bag there.
It might be worth it. It doesn't look like you're going to do so.
No argument from Mike Scioscia. The Angels ground into a double play that ends the inning. Well, into the second, 2-0 Seattle. sending 7 men to the plate, forcing Nick Tropiano to throw 26 pitches. It's Leonis Martin to lead things off. The first fastball nowhere near the zone, gets away from Carlos, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Martin, the former Texas Ranger. 95 games with Texas last year, 220 with a couple of home runs. Last year, 219 for Texas. Native of Cuba. A lot of potential in Leonis Martin. Still only 27, but never materialized fully with Texas, and he drives one out towards center. Trout back there, having trouble finding the baseball. Now he finds it, makes the catch.
Looks pretty long way out, too.
Yeah, Cole didn't stop running. You saw Trout there for a second, throwing the hands up a little bit. One down.
See Trout going back, trying to track the baseball, not seeing it right there. Looking up. And then the last second calls off Cole, who's drifted in the area himself to be able to make the play. That ball was hit pretty far.
Ketel Marte takes down low. 22-year-old, got into 57 games last year for Seattle. 283, stole 8 bases. Switch hitter, slick fielder. And after the revolving door that the Seattle Mariners have had at shortstop, seems like they've got a really good one here in Marte. Good off-speed pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike. It took something off the fastball anyway. Escobar in on the grass at third.
Good off-speed pitch there, down and away. Exactly where Nick Tropiano has to live consistently, but he also has to show a fastball in at some point. And you mentioned that earlier, Victor. You want to keep them off that outside part of the plate by showing in.
Full count. Needs to have a quick inning here to kind of even out the pitch count from the first. 3rd full count of the night already. Fell back. Two runs that Seattle scored in the first inning, both on sac flies.
It looked like a split finger fastball from Tropiano. Along with his changeup, he will throw the split finger fastball.
There's that fastball in you were talking about.
Now you have an option. You can go right back in because he's going to look away, but you could still go away with something off speed.
Ground ball to the right side. Giavotella is there. 2 down. Hey, host a business function or celebrate a special occasion in your own private suite at Angel Stadium. Suite rentals offer all-inclusive food and beverage packages. Visit angels.com/suites for more info. 2 down. Here's the leadoff man, Aoki. And in the first inning, when Aoki hit the double, there was a time call. The umpires got together. Tim Meade, the master public relations man for the Angels, has been for 37 years, has informed us that the phones in the Mariners dugout for reviews were not operable. So that's my service went out and told the umpires, and that's why the umpires told Soch. Down and in. Clears up that whole mess.
Yes. I feel better now.
Yeah. Two balls, 1 strike. Aoki led off the game with a double. 3rd of the year. Eventually scored the first run.
Never feel better when I look into that Seattle dugout and I see Edgar Martinez in there, the hitting coach. Too many good swings over the years against a lot of us.
No surprise he was the lone guy left standing on that coaching staff, retained.
A pure hitter, and he teaches it well also.
Another full count for Tropiano.
Talk about a guy that always looked middle away, but also could turn on something on the inner half if you try to sneak something in against him.
Aoki takes ball 4. Caught the corner. Entire infield and outfield thought it was a strike.
I don't know why they didn't check the swing.
It was a strike. They said he didn't go. Third walk issued by Tropiano.
First of all, it's a strike in the strike zone. Right in the lower part of the strike zone. Again, we've said that a number of times this year. The low strike has not been called. A lot of times that happened on the road trip. There's another example of it. There's been a couple already in this game.
Seth Smith worked a walk in the first. Scored the second run.
There's 4 walks coming into the season for Tropiano, but 3 already in this game. We're in the second inning. Something you don't see from Nick Tropiano a whole lot is walks. It's already tied a career high as far as walks in a game last September against Seattle.
No balls, 2 strikes. Nick with 26 pitches in the first. He's thrown 20 here in the second. Good lead for Aoki at first.
Some really good swings against Iwakuma in that first inning. Couple singles. Trout just missed his, and Albert hit the ball hard up the middle. The Robinson Cano made a nice play to end up turning a double play against. So if you're Tropiano, you're thinking, okay, I get to that 6th inning, I got a shot because they're going to get some runs against Iwakuma tonight. Doesn't look quite as crisp as we've seen in the past.
Smith backing out at the plate. Nick's really trying to be overly fine tonight.
We have not seen that in his first 2 starts. Very aggressive.
A product perhaps of lefties having good numbers against him and having to face 7 of them.
But 2-0 in his career versus Seattle.
Yeah.
With a pretty solid ERA, 3.60. Believe me, you look at all those numbers, you remember all those numbers as a starting pitcher. He had success against the club. No matter what they put out there as far as left-handed batters, you still feel pretty good about yourself, giving the team a chance to win.
Got him. Picked him off. Down goes Aoki. That'll end the inning. Well, to the bottom of the second. Calhoun, Simmons, and Crone coming up for the Angels. Down 2-0.
That's a quick move. He's going Aoki, but a quick tag by C.J. Crone on the arm.
Out of the second inning, Cole Calhoun, Andrelton Simmons, C.J. Cron coming up to face Hisashi Iwakuma. Gave up back-to-back singles in the first inning to start the game for or against the Angels, and then the trout to the fly ball left. Pujols double play ball to end the inning. 19th double play the Angels have hit into this season.
That was Tropiano's first career pickoff. Good footwork he had on that one.
Cole fouls off the first pitch.
What a play!
Yeah.
Bring your glove. And he was ready. It's a heck of a play. Right at him, glove ready. No problem.
He had a backup there. It's like Trout and Calhoun last half inning.
The communication.
Cole hitting .316, 4 doubles, a home run, and 6 runs batted in. 1 for 3 game yesterday with a double and a run scored, and also picked up a walk. Like that on base percentage, .381.
Shift on, a lot of room now on the left side of the infield, especially with 2 strikes on him. Especially Iwakuma has that split finger fastball going down and away. Let's try to put that ball in play to the left side of the infield. A lot of room right here for Cole Calhoun to be able to get that one through.
We've seen this year with anything outside, especially 2 strikes, he's more than happy to just flip it out to left field. Got him with the off speed. First strikeout for Iwakuma, 1 down.
Pretty good split finger fastball here. Rotation, then the bottom drops off as it goes down and away.
See a guy now that you might try to be better off looking for off speed?
I think that's what you got to try to do.
I know it's hard to do, especially when you're talking about a splitter.
But his fastball right now is not overpowering. See, again, a lot of stuff away. You're reluctant as a pitcher, especially when you used to have a pretty good fastball, to stay inside. You generally are going to just show in, but you're going to try to get out away consistently. So that's for effect. 89, for the most part 86 range for Iwakuma. In the past, touches 90, 91, 92.
This was out toward right field. Smith got a good jump on it. Makes the catch for round number 2. We'll bring up Cron. It's the 15th game, 14th start of Iwakuma's career against the Angels. 8-3 with a 2.71. Now his 5th year with Seattle.
Really impressive because he fields his position so well, does all the little things to give himself a chance every single time he takes the mound.
Cron looks at a fastball for a strike. .154 average with a double and 2 runs batted in. Breaking pitch out to right field, not very deep. Smith moving over and keeps on moving over. And the Angels go down in order. 2 complete, 2-0 Seattle.
The trade brought to you by Ram Trucks. Tropiano with great footwork right here. Gets Aoki, who's leaning forward, trying to think about stealing the base. A quick tag by C.J. Cron. Great angle by our guys on that one to be able to apply that tag. First career pickoff, but it's all about the footwork and shorter throwing motion from Nick Tropiano.
49 pitches through 2 innings for Tropiano. Smith back at the plate. He was at the plate when Aoki got picked off. Walking a run scored. Smith like the Ole Miss once upon a time. Backup quarterback to Eli.
Wow.
You like that?
It's like Todd Helton, backup quarterback to Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
So when you're back up to the Manning brothers, and they win Super Bowls, go play baseball.
Go play baseball.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a sure sign.
Good decision, though.
Yeah. Seth, we'd like for you to redshirt, play baseball. This is right through the shift. Got jammed, fights it off, and it's a leadoff single. Pretty good piece of hitting.
90-mile-an-hour fastball upstairs. With 3 infielders on that right side of the infield. Just fights it through, ends up being a base hit. You're seeing a lot more hitters trying to do that now.
Yeah.
What it used to be. Everyone got into that power swing trying to pull everything, but you're seeing more and more hitters now letting the baseball travel and shooting the ball the other way.
Yeah, no more stubbornness. Guys are trying to beat the shift through the shift.
Yeah, trying to hit a rocket by them.
Right, or at them. See if they can at least get it by them. Here's Cano out to center field. Trout was playing back, still moving back, and he'll make the catch. Smith back to first base. Robinson took the first pitch in his first at bat. Swings at the first one in his second. And he is 1 for 2. 1 down here in the third.
And with Nelson Cruz coming to the plate. And now it's time for In the Driver's Seat, brought to you by Kia. Nelson Cruz put some good numbers together throughout his career, but certainly in his last 2 seasons as far as most home runs since 14 and 15. Nelson Cruz with 84 leads. Mike Trout right behind at 77. And Jose Bautista with 75. Maybe a bat flip or 2 out of that from Bautista too.
Cruz a sac fly in the first, 8th RBI for him. You better make sure you get that pitch by him upstairs.
It's a dangerous spot.
Yeah. Danger, Will Robinson.
When he had that swing in that location, he's happy he didn't make good contact.
Good breaking ball.
'Cause that's where you want to be against him.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Good breaking ball, and down goes Cruz. Second strikeout for Tropiano.
That curveball was excellent from Nick Tropiano. Pitch before good, this one better. Great rotation of that pitch, down and away to get a swing and miss.
Two outs and a man on. Here's Seager, who worked the walk in the first.
Shift on against Kyle Seager, also with Giavitelli in that outfield grass.
That's off the plate. It's a count at a ball at a strike.
That's great location. Fastball got the benefit of that call. A little bit off the outside corner. Now usually when you hit a spot like that with a fastball, that's when you throw that changeup at the same location, let it drift a little bit further away.
And you've put in the back of his mind that first pitch fastball on the inside part of the plate. Opens things up for you. And there's a good breaking ball. So very good inning for Nick Tropiano making the adjustments there.
Real good pitch in that breaking ball. 61 pitches, 38 strikes for Nick Tropiano. By clean, crisp Coors Light. And the Angels return from a long road trip. 5 straight wins in that first home game following 9 or more games on the road. 12-1. Last 13 games coming back on my long road trip. So we're thinking of the positives.
Man, we can come up with stats for anything.
Oh, yes. We're not even going to tell you what they do in game 2. Oh, still not bad either, but game 1, coming back from a long road trip, very good.
Look at
And they agree. She agrees exactly what we said.
Gorgeous. First Angel game. Beautiful families. Perez shoots one up the elevator chute on the first base side. Cano calls off Lind. 1 out. 1 pitch, 1 out to start the bottom of the third. Johnny Giavotella coming up.
Just looking for some production in the bottom part of the order. Talked about it a lot last year. You think the way they swung the bat for a long period of time in spring training in the beginning part of the year, that's not going to be a case. But right now you got 3 guys hitting in the hundreds, and you know they're better hitters than that. Giavotella getting better. The last game out, thinking line drive up the middle.
Takes a strike. John hitting 158 with an RBI. 2 for 3 game. Last night,
Iwakuma's faced 9 batters, 8 first pitch strikes.
Lays off.
And that first pitch, probably a tough take for Giavotella, but 1 pitch out kind of forces you in a position where you have to take a look at a pitch, but that fastball is right exactly in his zone.
Johnny 3 for 7 in his career against Iwakuma.
So far, we've seen a cut fastball from Iwakuma and a 2-seam fastball. That last one, a 2-seamer. First pitch of this at bat, a cut fastball.
They would come allowed back-to-back singles to start the game against the Angels, but nobody's reached since then. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The crowd on this Friday night returning home for the 6-game homestand. Double logo baseball cap giveaway. There they are. Bounce a foul. You got yours.
Yes.
You go Lupinella on us with the headset on.
Oh,
so the folks at home can see it.
Yeah, that's a great look when I do that.
Sponsored by AAA. There you go, folks. There it is.
That's
right
that perfect look right there.
Give me the sweet Lou stance too, though.
Yeah. The Lupinella
awesome
look. It's a great look right there.
Oh man, that's like a 9-hit if that were for real. You know that. Just got a piece of that one. Keeps his at-bat alive. That is some serious forehead. That's like a drive-in movie screen. If it were real. Oh man. Thanks for showing everybody.
There you go.
Awesome. Top of the order, Escobar on deck. Another pail. Johnny reaches for this one. He'll bounce it over to Seager. 2 down. Fans painted orange at Angel Stadium by wearing Ducks gear and mentioning the Ducks offer at the Angels box office this weekend to receive Angels tickets. As low as $5 for Saturday and Sunday games. Visit Angel Stadium ticket windows for more details.
That's tied up that series at 2 apiece. After being down 2, have to go to Nashville. Some good goaltending. The captain with a goal early yesterday. The Ducks win, even up the series.
One 0 count on Escobar. Ducks will play tomorrow afternoon. Kings are playing tonight, right?
Trying to stay alive in that series. It's the Sharks. Clippers, I think, going tomorrow up in the series themselves.
Kings are down 1-0
up in Portland.
Left in the first.
Trying to take that commanding 3-0 lead up in Portland, the Clippers. They're looking good so far.
Escobar with a base hit to right in the first.
Escobar's done a nice job against Iwakuma, not chasing that pitch out of the strike zone. Talk about a key for the Angels against Iwakuma is don't chase those pitches out of the strike zone, especially when it starts at the knees. It's not going to be a strike.
3-1. And there's a walk. First free pass issued by Iwakuma. Comes with 2 outs here to third. Ortega coming up. He singled to left the first. '24-year-old Venezuelan. Rafael had a fantastic spring training. Thought for a moment there that he had a chance to make the team, the opening day roster.
He impressed the entire coaching staff in spring training.
Originally the Rockies system. First one's up and away.
Well, we showed that thing in the graphic what he did as far as his arm strength. 37 outfield assists, 2 years in A-ball. Great arm strength by Rafael Ortega. Good speed also. And what they like about him is he uses the entire field.
286 last year, 22 doubles, 6 triples, 42 RBIs for the Redbirds of AAA Memphis. Seager not even with the bag at third base. Short lead for Escobar at first. Ground ball, this one right to Cano. Halos are done here in the third. We'll head to the fourth with Seattle up 2-0. In the fourth, it'll be Lind, Iannetta, and Martin to face Nick Tropiano. Had by far his best inning so far tonight in the third inning. Leadoff single to Smith, but then a fly ball off the bat of Cano, and then 2 strikeouts. Overall, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, 3 hits allowed. Swinging first pitch is Adam Lind, lofting one out the left. 1 down.
Always love those 1-pitch outs, quick outs. Especially a number of pitches early on for Nick Tropiano, who's kind of settled in now. A couple punch outs last inning.
Chris Iannetta saw 3 pitches in the first, struck out looking to end the inning. Off the end of the bat, a little flare out the left. A 1-out single for Iannetta. Puts a man on for Leonis Martin.
It looks like Chris' stance is a little bit more open than we saw in the past. Generally, when you see that, a hitter's looking on the inner half of the plate most times. That fastball off the end of the bat fights it in the left field for a hit. Always well liked by his teammates, having a quick conversation with C.J. Crone down there at first base.
Beach balls come out to the field. Casey Candell, the first base coach. That's really it. Martin tried to bunt his way on. Comes up empty, and it's an 0-1 count. Tough pitch to bunt, too, the off speed. 0-1. Crone playing behind Iannetta at first. Not a threat to steal, and plus you've got a lefty bat up. Martin hit a fly ball to center, leading off the second. The team became expendable by Texas with the emergence of Delino DeShields in center field. Called strike 3. Down it goes.
Great location. That off-speed pitch right on the bottom part of the strike zone. Can't throw a pitch any better than this. Split finger fastball right on the outside corner at the knees. Great job of framing that pitch by Carlos Perez.
Two outs with Marte up. Marte grounded out his first time up. That was to Johnny Giavotella. Just off the plate. Two balls, one strike. 70 pitches now thrown by Tropiano. 44 strikes. 4 punch outs, 3 walks, 4 hits allowed. Lifted. Landed in the seats on the third base side. Felix Hernandez was scheduled to get to start tonight. He got moved back till tomorrow because of an illness. So Iwakuma's getting to start tonight. Down the line, foul.
Felix Hernandez is 14-14 in his career against the Angels, but very good of late. 7-2 mark with a very good ERA. Felix Hernandez against the Angels of late. Consistency with his fastball, although his velocity is going down a little bit so far this year.
Full count. That'll give Ionetta a head start from first.
But still an ERA at 1.
With the crease velo.
Yes, he knows how to pitch.
Yep.
A very talented pitcher for a lot of years.
Payoff. Fouled off again. The third base side over there. Marte fans with all the foul balls. He's spraying that way.
74 pitches. His first 2 innings, especially the first inning. 26 pitches, 23. In the second for Tropiano. Last 2, very good.
Ground ball over to C.J. Cron. He'll take it himself. And we'll head to the bottom of the 4th with the Angels setting up the heart of their order down 2-0.
Part of the order up for the Angels this inning. Mike Trout with his power. Albert Pujols the same. Double figures, home runs, all three. As a matter of fact, 107 combined home runs last season for Mike Trout. Albert Pujols, Cole Calhoun looking for some offense here to get this rolling against Iwakuma, who's been very good once again against the Angels.
Yeah, 2 hits and a walk. That's all that Iwakuma has allowed through the first 3 innings. Those 2 hits were the first 2 batters of the ball game, Escobar and Ortega. But then Trout hit a fly ball to left. Albert grounded into a double play. That's been it. Michael for 1 with that fly ball to left. Jam takes downstairs for ball 1. It's in the air down the line. Seth Smith, a long run over, and this one was sliced foul off the track and into the seats. It's counted 1 ball, 1 strike. At times this year, we've seen the defense against Trout, especially on the infield, really playing him to pull with 3 guys pulled over on the left side of the infield. Cano, it's a modified shift, is playing more up the middle than anything else. And outfield's playing straight up.
It's pulled off on that all-speed pitch, split finger fastball. And if there's another one, does just punch that through the right side of the infield.
Got jammed, little flare out the right center field. Martin racing in, not going to get there. Perfectly placed in a Bermuda triangle, and it's a leadoff single for Mike Trout.
Well, that's a nice little flare by Trout, but Albert Pujols coming to the plate with a chance to tie it up with 1 swing of the bat. And going back just a couple of years ago for Albert Pujols, flashback 2 years ago. Albert Pujols, number 499, and that one number 500 career home runs for Albert Pujols. 499, 500. That's worthy of a Carl's Cam replay.
Time flies, doesn't it?
Remember that though? Yeah, that was incredible.
Crazy.
Only player in Major League history at 499 and 500 in the same game, and that was 2 years ago today.
Off the plate. Double play ball by Pujols in the first. He's 0 for 1. Two 2-0.
Great count to do some damage now for Albert. Looking for number 563, which would tie him with Reggie Jackson all time. Harmon Killebrew 573, Rafael Palmeiro 569, and Albert just back there behind Reggie.
2-0. Chopper to third. Seager feeds Cano for 1. Second double play, Pujols is hit into. 2 down. So base is clear for Cole Calhoun.
th ground ball double play they've rolled into this season.
Depending on what the Pirates did tonight, could lead Major League Baseball. Cole struck out, leading off the second. The only punch out for Iwakuma. Hammers one out to right field. Seth Smith will watch this one go. Gone! A big fly for Cole, and the Angels get on the board.
as per the norm, Cole Calhoun being aggressive early in the count. Second home run, 7th RBI from that as we came back into this inning. A lot of power in the top 3 coming in here with Trout, Pujols, and now Cole Calhoun. Did not miss this one. A hanging breaking ball right into the heart of the bat in that perfect swing. Got that foot down and barreled the bat with some lift out of the ballpark for Calhoun.
Second home run Cole has hit against Iwakuma in his career. Andrelton Simmons takes a breaking ball for a strike. Simmons fly ball to right, his first at bat. Two 2-1 Seattle here in the 4th. Off the end of the bat, foul. No balls, 2 strikes.
Well, that baseball got out quickly by Cole Calhoun. His numbers in that first or second pitch of an at bat are amazing.
Simmons breaks his bat and rolls one down the line. It's backhanded by Seager. Halos are done here in the 4th, but they get on the board courtesy of Cole Calhoun's second home run of the season. Sports West is brought to you by Subaru Loves Promise. Subaru's pledge is to do right by the communities in which we all live and work. And by El Pollo Loco. Try the new signature avocado tostadas today. 2-1 Seattle, top of the 5th inning. Top of the order coming up for the M's. Opening game of this 3-game series. Seattle scoring twice in the first. Angels getting on the board courtesy of that guy.
That guy.
That guy. Should we just do analysis from now on like that?
That guy.
That guy is good.
This guy too.
Aoki takes a strike and it's 0-2. A double and a walk for Aoki, the left fielder. His first season with Seattle. Last year with the San Francisco Giants. That went upstairs. A couple of stints on the disabled list. Fractured right fibula and a concussion. Missed it. Almost got it. Count remains at 1-2. 4 hits for each ball club. Bouncer back to the mound. One down. Well, the minute that Nick Tropiano started to hit his spots with the fastball, he's been able to open things up. The arsenal has been opened up. He's settled in. And keeping guys off balance.
Remember, we were talking about that to start the game, even in the pregame show, about the need to be able to establish the fastball first. A lot like Matt Shoemaker as far as establishing the strike zone with a fastball and then using off-speed pitch. It's been very good. When you look back, his last 6 starts, even back to 2015, 3-0 with an ERA just over 2. And the reason why he's been able to establish his fastball command early, but then finish off with his changeup, his curveball's been good, an occasional split-finger fastball.
Smith looks at a strike. A walk and a single for him. He's also scored. One ball, one strike. The pitch count has settled down for him. Maybe 2 right now. 26 in the first, 20 in the second.
See, by getting that fastball in the inner half and down, now he can go back away with his changeup, or even go back with the fastball if he just have that sink action going down and away. Get a ground ball rated Escobar.
Off speed, little dribbler foul. Seven batters facing that first inning. 1 hit, pardon me, 2 hits, a double, a single, 2 walks, 2 sac flies. Bringing in those 2 runs. Halos have had some opportunities, first and fourth, to get some of those runs back. Pitch was down, did not go, so it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two on the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was looking off speed on that one. Clearly looking for a changeup. Got the express instead.
Telephone booth swing.
Yes.
That's pulling the cord late.
Yeah, just thinking off speed. I better try to just foul that one off. He almost got the catcher's mitt.
Who was it? Matsui?
Matsui was really good
used
at
to do
that.
that all the time. Catcher's interference.
That always makes you feel good as a pitcher. And it makes you feel good as a catcher when he gets it off your glove.
Yep.
That's a late swing by Seth Smith.
Good off-speed pitch to Robinson Cano. No balls in his strike.
Love that pitch selection by Carlos Perez. Cano looking. Remember, he took the first pitch fastball last at bat. He was geared up for a fastball, instead got a changeup.
Cano with a single and a fly ball to center. Two one. Bottom third of the order coming up for the Angels in the 5th. Crone, Perez, Giavitello. Nelson Cruz on deck. Tropiano's not had a 1-2-3 inning. Did face the minimum 3 in the second, but that was after he walked Aoki, picked him off to end the inning. And he walked him. 4th walk issued by Nick.
Get Charlie Nagy on the phone now down to the bullpen. That pitch count is going up. 91 right now. With all these lefties in this lineup, look like Greg Mahle getting up.
Cruz a sac fly and a strikeout. He'll look at strike one.
Got him out last time. 2 breaking balls in a row in the dirt, down and away. And a lot of times that's a call in for the bench to throw over, and then Carlos Perez will set up inside as if he was going to throw a fastball, just in case Nelson Cruz is looking. He did that earlier in the game. Then he goes back away the very next pitch.
Greg Mahle's up. Yeah. Westminster product. His first appearance here.
Made his debut up in Oakland. His parents came up for game 1 of the Oakland series.
Off speed, grounded toward the hole. Backhanded by Simmons. Look at the short way. Force out Cano. And we will head to the bottom of the 5th inning with the bottom third coming up. It's Seattle still leading 2-1. Authority of the Los Angeles Angels. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. C.J. Cron to lead things off here against Hisashi Iwakuma. 1 strikeout, 1 walk, and 4 hits allowed for Iwakuma. Cron 0 for 1 as he hit a fly ball to right field in his first at bat.
Last at bat, threw him a fastball first pitch, took it. This time takes it again. This is more of a cut fastball, outer part of the plate. Real good numbers last 10 games against Seattle.
This one down to straightaway center field. This will chase Martin to the wall. Gone! Big fly for C.J. Cron. First of the year, ties this one up at 2.
Boy, and that swing from C.J. Cron. A pitch off speed, split finger down, and use the middle of field. That's going to make Dave Hansen, Paul Sorrento feel real good about that hack. The dead center field for C.J. Cron. Stays down and right out over the plate, and he absolutely tattoos it to center field. Talk about some sound and some distance for C.J. Cron.
There's Carlos Perez taking a strike, popped out. 1 pitch in the 3rd. 105 miles per hour off the bat, 426 feet for CJ.
Iwakuma last year allowed 18 home runs, allowed 3 so far this season, including 2 tonight.
Got that goose egg off the home run board. Third RBI. One-two pitch. This one's flipped on the first base side. Headed out of play. The count remains at 1-2. Called strike 3. Carlos goes down looking. 1 down. Every fan matters when the Angels take on the Rays Sunday, May 8th at 12:35 p.m. First 20,000 adults in attendance will receive a Mother's Day beach tote courtesy of Thermador. Join us on Mother's Day. Visit angels.com for tickets.
Perfect. Like it.
Those daisies on there? What was that? You can't see? Or you're not much of a florist? that look was priceless. You've never given me that high sign before.
But
need some Visine?
Yeah, I need some glasses on that one.
Giamatello for 1 as he grounded out his first time up.
That's the old song. She blinded me with science. You got me on that one.
Couple of solo home runs for the Angels, evening the score after Seattle scored twice in the first. A lot of movement in on that pitch, right-handed batters. He's got Trout a couple of times. Lays off. Did not go. Three balls and 1 strike. Full count. Good numbers against Seattle last year. 340 against them.
You like that pitch back right there. Fastball down. Was trying to work the count, maybe get a walk. There's 5 doubles, 5 RBI in 16 games. You mentioned that batting average, but productive batting average too.
Ground ball to short. Marte has it. 2 down. Two outs, nobody on. It's Yunel Escobar up. Single and a walk for him. Greg Malley still loosening in the pen. Looks like Fernando Salas start play catch as well. Lefty, lefty, righty due up for Seattle to start the 6th inning. Escobar 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. This one line to center field. It's a multi-hit game for Yunel Escobar. Well, it's good to snap out of that 0 for 16, and he's on board 3 times tonight.
Used the whole field. That went up the middle. The first at bat, base hit to the right side of the infield. Cut fastball that didn't really have that cut action. It kind of ran back, which becomes a very hittable pitch at that point. It goes right back up the middle for a base hit. Now 8 for 24 at home for Escobar. .333 batting average.
Rafael Ortega, 1 for 2 game, takes low. C.J. Cron, a leadoff home run to tie things up. Straightaway center field and up on the batter's eye, 426 feet, according to StatCast. Evens the count at 1-1. Cut the. Didn't catch the outside corner. It was off the plate, but it was called a strike.
Outer half of the outer half of the plate.
or the inner half of the right-handed batter's box, however you want to look at it. One and two.
That might have been his best split finger fastball of the game. Even Kuma had some good action, downward action on that one. .67 pitches, 44 strikes. Just 1 walk in the game, but 2 home runs allowed.
One, two, and Ortega goes down. He tips down one into the mitt. But the Angels do tie it up on C.J. Cron's first of the year, Gooby.
Oh, what a perfect swing on a pitch down middle part of the plate. Dead center field for C.J. Cron. Number 1 of the season, home run.
Seems to be greater than ever for now. Cuba remains one country that's beyond its reach. Tune in for our special documentary, Cuba Baseball's Final Frontier. That's coming up Sunday after the Angels game here on Fox Sports West. Seager, Lind, and Iannetta. Nick Tropiano's back out on the bump to start the 6th inning. Trout has to retrieve a beach ball.
A little slam dunk, too. We saw that dunk. We work out with the Golden State Warriors.
That was this year, right? Last road trip?
Yeah, exactly.
Seems just like yesterday. Well, dribbler foul. Seager with a walk and a strikeout. Adam Lind on deck, and then Iannetta. Salas getting ready. Malley's ready to go. Push ball on the third base side. Tropiano fields it, fires to first. Got him. Nice play by Nick Tropiano.
Perfection as far as doing exactly what you want as a pitcher. Get around to that baseball, use the bare hand, and put yourself in good throwing position. Very athletic play by Nick Tropiano. And Seager trying to beat the shift quickly off the mound, puts that baseball down with the bare hand, and then a perfect throw over the first base. And for that play, Mike Scioscia comes out and says, great job.
5 1/3 after throwing 26 in the first, 23 in the second. He lasts into the 6th, gets the first out here. It's a 2-2 tie with a pitching change here in the 6th inning. One out, and it's a 2-2 game. Mike Scioscia goes to the bullpen here and brings in left-hander Greg Malley, 22-year-old. Comes on in place of Nick Tropiano, and in and out, who's in, who's out. Interesting that Tropiano out there to face Seager, but then Malley comes in to face Adam Lind. But it's making his home debut. Product of Westminster and UC Santa Barbara. Mom and Dad are here, Greg and Lissette.
What a thrill it must be for them. I know they were so excited to go up to Oakland when he got the call. Greg was going to be in the big leagues. Now I get the chance to see him pitch live here at the Big A.
15th round pick in 2014. He'll be facing Adam Lind with a sac fly in the first and a fly ball to left in the 4th inning. The first one's in for a strike. Certainly a much different look from Greg Malley than that of Nick Tropiano, who ended up going 5 1/3, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 4 walks. Malley pitched in Wednesday's game, and that one's upstairs.
See that adrenaline working for Malley before he threw that first pitch, taking a big deep breath. Control the emotions.
Ground ball back up the middle, and that'll sneak through for a base hit. So a man on with 1 out. Salas ready to go on the bullpen if Mike Scioscia chooses to go that round. And looks like he is. Again, it was just a one-batter thing. We got a pitching change. Malley is out. Salas coming in. Still tied at 2. This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by T-Mobile. Get major league coverage. T-Mobile has doubled its 4G LTE in the last year. By Infinity, visit your local Southern California Infinity retailer for a test drive today. And by Energy Upgrade California. It's easy to stay golden at energyupgradeca.org. Chris Iannetta will be the batter when play resumes, and it's going to do so here quickly as Fernando Salas is ready to go. And he will face Chris Iannetta with 1 out, 1 on. Sorry, yeah, 1 out, 1 on. Lind is the base runner at first base. Salas pitching in his 9th game, 0-1 record, a 4.15 ERA, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks, and 8 2/3 so far. Iannetta 1 for 2, struck out looking his first time up. Single down to left field his second time up. Cued foul. Short lead for Lind over at first. I don't think that he's going anywhere. Iannetta gets jammed and fouls it off. No balls, 2 strikes.
And that was a changeup that ran inside. Not exactly where Fernando wanted to throw that pitch. Tropiano did excellent today. After throwing quite a few pitches the first couple of innings. Put up some good numbers as 2 earned runs and 5 1/3. 3 earned runs allowed this season in 3 starts.
One ball, 2 strikes. .96 pitches for Tropiano. Base runner at first is Malley's guy.
That's a great pitch.
Well, it looked like Brian Knight, the home plate umpire, was going to ring it up.
And he could have called that one a strike. Hard slider, outer part of the plate. And is touching that outside corner on Fox tracks.
That's a wild pitch, I guess. I thought it made contact with Iannetta's bat.
That's what I thought it did.
I mean, it redirected that way.
Yeah, it did. Adam Lind going back to first base. This fastball up and in. Yeah, hit the bat right there. Adam Lind figured to give it a shot just in case nobody noticed him.
Well, the way Carlos Perez kind of reacted as well.
And there was a quick pickoff, and they're saying maybe time was not back in at that point.
Yeah, nobody called time, did they? I mean, but it's a dead ball. It's a dead ball because of the foul ball. This is what and
they're going to get together on that play.
Well, first of all, if it is a foul ball, which it is a foul ball, play has not resumed until the pitcher engages on the rubber, if I'm not mistaken.
And he's not on the rubber at that point. He's on the pitcher's mound.
Right.
The umpire crew going to get together just to make sure.
I mean, that's my understanding anyways.
Yeah, always has to be.
Wait a second. They're putting him at second. It's a foul ball. Now they're saying it's not a foul ball. So then go ahead and go ahead and challenge it.
You have to. Especially with 1 out here.
I mean,
it's clear. How did the baseball go that far away?
Exactly. I mean,
and that's what Mike Scioscia is going to get back together to say, listen, let's go. We're going to challenge that.
It's a foul ball. Hits the bat.
That clearly hits the bat.
The bat.
Yes.
What? I mean, this is insane.
It hits the bat before it hits the glove. There's no doubt. They have to look at that.
And now here comes the crew chief, Bill Miller.
It is a foul ball.
Look, the crew chief can always go to the headsets if he wants, right? Then why not just do that? Instead of waiting, you've got all this confusion. Just go to the headset and start over. The pitch is a foul ball. It's off the bat. It's a dead ball. Base runner's got to go back to first base. There's no play at first. End of story. Let's go from there.
I don't even know how this is in a discussion right now.
Unless they're calling something
Unless they're calling a balk on the throw over, but there's no,
again,
and he wasn't on the pitching rubber.
He hadn't engaged the rubber, so that he hadn't started play again. Home plate umpire didn't say let's go, point at him.
And there's a lot of conversations going on just about this play alone.
This is the third meeting happening between the umpires with replay, folks, and nobody's looking at a replay for anything. Now let's go have an evening of Scott Service. Hey, there we go. It's a foul ball.
Exactly what it was.
Oh, what do you know? Put the headsets on and figure it out. It's not that difficult. I don't know what Scott Service is heated about.
Yeah, I mean, it was a foul ball.
Yeah. This isn't rocket science. I'm trying to figure out, Gooby, to be perfectly honest with you, why they would ever award Lynn's second base unless someone said it was a wild pitch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, second base umpire says it's a wild pitch, but the home plate umpire didn't see a foul ball or hear a foul ball. I will say this, Carlos Perez's reaction was odd.
Yeah, it was.
He went after it as if it was a wild pitch. But clearly shows it's a foul ball.
Yes.
This is taking way too long. Again, if the crew chief had just gone to the headset, put on the headset and look at that pitch, this would have been done about 5 minutes ago.
I can't believe this is going on this long, this conversation also. It's the right call. This took quite a bit of time to get the call right.
And that is the point of replay, is it not? Here's the play.
Look at the baseball hitting the bat. Clearly hitting the bat.
And nobody looked at that play.
Hearing that sound off the bat and the glove, it sounded like also wasn't quite as loud as you might anticipate on a foul ball, but clearly hit the bat.
2-2 pitch. And Salas misses, so full count.
And then Fernando Salas is sitting out there for a while. He gets a few throws in, but that's a long time in between pitches. That could have been resolved quickly.
Yep. Lynn takes off. Another strikes out to throw to second. Well, it could have been done 10 minutes ago. It's done now. Inning over. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Part of the order coming up. It's a tie game. 2, Trout Pools, Calhoun coming up. We got a game break here. White Sox hosting the Texas Rangers. Gooby, if you had this on your Wingo card, I'll give you $1,000. This is a triple play, folks.
I always say that you talk about the best play in baseball, 3-run home run or a double play for a pitcher. I'll take a triple play any day of the week.
That's 9-3 for out number 2. Throw goes to 2. They've got base runners between second and third. They fire to the shortstop. Prince Fielder gets off the bag. And that's how they complete the triple play. That's 9, 3, 2, 6, 2, 5.
Blast off.
There you go. 5-0 White Sox.
That's the conventional triple play.
End up shutting out the Texas Rangers. Here's a 2-2 tie. Trout Pools and Calhoun. And going back to that play, that unusual delay that we had in the top of the 6th inning, the only other thing that we were talking about at the break was that maybe, and I don't know how they would have done it, somebody called the balk on the throw over to first base. It's almost impossible for that to occur, and that would explain why Scott Service got so upset at Bill Miller. First one to Trout, breaking ball, first strike. But again, it's a foul ball, so it's a dead ball. Pitcher hasn't engaged on the rubber, so how can there be a ball?
And if anything, he could have been out on the tag.
Right. Exactly.
Other than that, it was a perfect throw by Carlos Perez.
Yes, it was. 0-1. Trout lines one out to left field and almost misplayed and left by Aoki, but he makes the catch for out number 1.
Well, remember that for 3 play he made in the playoffs a couple years against the Angels in playoffs against the wall, right center, with his glove turned the other way.
Yep.
He can do some things a little differently in the outfield. Coming in on the baseball, then has to retreat.
First pitch to Albert, down low. Pools 0 for 2, a couple of double play balls tonight. Bouncer foul.
Hyundai key for this game for the Angels to be successful. Are you ready? Looking for some big flies. Got a couple of them in this game, and Albert Pujols had a tough time tonight against Iwakuma, trying to get one of those pitches middle of the plate and drive it to center field, similar to what CJ Cron did.
Gets jammed here, lifts one out to left center. Aoki underneath it. 2 down. It'll bring up Cole, and this is what he did back in the 4th inning.
Being aggressive early as the norm. Hanging breaking ball. Cole Calhoun crushed that out for his 2nd home run, 7th RBI. Cole Calhoun in those first 2 pitches, when he sees it, .397 batting average. After pitch 3 and on, .193.
Cole takes a strike.
Iwakuma remembers that Cole Calhoun hit that home run on a curveball, start him off with a fastball away.
Down low. .75 pitches for Iwakuma, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, 7 hits allowed. Overshift Dom with Cole at the plate. One pitch. Little liner to second, inning over. The Angels go down quietly and in order here in the 6th inning. We're headed to the 7th. A 2-2 tie. Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Mercury Insurance. On a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today to get a fast free quote and see how much you could save. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Top of the 7th here at the Big A. 2-2 tie. Seattle sending up 8-9-1. Martin, Marte, and Aoki. Fernando Salas on the bump. Struck out Chris Ionetta, and Carlos Perez threw out Adam Lind, who was moving on that 3-2 pitch. And that ended the 6th inning. Leonis Martin, the center fielder, 0 for 2. A fly ball to center and a strikeout looking. First pitch fastball for a strike. Good off speed.
Yeah, and Fernando not real happy with location. It was the speed of that pitch, got the swing and miss, but a high changeup's a dangerous pitch.
This one fouled back. Outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This one hit sharply, but right to Johnny Giavotella on 1 hop. 1 out. Stay tuned later tonight in the post-game show for the business of sports. Brought to you by AutoNation.com and powered by AutoNation Honda Costa Mesa.
Baseball was hit well by Martin, but right at Giavotella. He's done a nice job defensively early on at that second base position.
Ketel Marte, the shortstop, 0 for 2. A couple of ground outs. This one down the line, foul. Jammed him. The pitch up and in.
Had their changeup away the pitch before.
Down to reach for that off speed, fouled it off. We've seen Marte take a couple of hacks like that in his first 2 at-bats tonight. Off speed down and away, kind of reaching or feeling for the baseball.
And he's trying to punch that ball to left field. Utilizes speed. You would think he'd be susceptible if he went fastball in. Looks like they're going away though.
He flips this one out to left field, and that'll fall in for a base hit.
That's all he was trying to do. Credit him for that approach. 2 strikes on, just trying to punch that ball the other way. He's trying to make contact, not a full swing. And that's why you would have a tough time making that type of swing on the fastball in at that point.
Got to check in on Marte. Good speed for him. Had 8 stolen bases last year. Seattle only 4 stolen bases on the season. Marte has 1 of them. A quick move.
And Fernando Salas is a very quick move to first.
Good lead for him at first, doesn't go, and Aoki looks at a strike. The left fielder a double, a walk, and a bouncer back to the mound. Jose Alvarez, a lefty, getting ready. Good off speed. You get a hitter like that, like Aoki, who can keep the hands back a long time and still fool them. Took a lot off of that one. 2-2.
A real good off-speed pitch. Spinning around, just trying to make contact. One thing, a dangerous pitch against him is that high fastball. Now, I would try to do that little changeup away and then be ready out in left field if you're Ortega.
Quick throw to first. Marte back easily. No balls, 2 strikes. Aoki chops this one toward Cron, and it goes foul.
And this pitch was well below the strike zone. Pretty amazing. He even made contact on this pitch. With the changeup, thought he might go with. Aoki goes down, and this makes contact. See how far this pitch is in front of the, right at the plate, well in front of Carlos Perez.
Got him. Foul tipped it into the mid. Down goes Aoki. 2 outs.
Ran that one off the outside corner. 91 after a couple real good change-ups. Just tried to make contact with it, could not do so.
Smith a walk, a single, and a strikeout. No balls and 1 strike. Tied at 2. Couple of home runs for the Angels. Solo shots. Tying it up. Calhoun in the 4th. Cron made it 2-2 in the 5th.
Wonder if Marte won't go here now, especially anticipating something off speed after a high fastball from Salas.
He does take off. This pitch is inside the throw. He's on the shortstop side. And Andrelton Simmons saying that on the slide as Marte switched feet, maybe his foot popped up a little bit. He kind of pointed toward the dugout.
Became a more difficult throw too for Perez. Oh, that was real close. See how he pop up. See if he's able to make contact with the base.
It looks like
he got the other foot in.
Yeah.
It was still a smart decision by Simmons to keep that glove on the leg, but Marte able to get his foot back down.
Two, one out to center. Trout has to move back on him, has a beat, makes the catch, and we will head to the bottom of the seventh. Simmons, Cron, Perez coming up for the Angels, still tied at 2.
Arms. And a couple rocket arms going on the mound tomorrow night. Felix Hernandez, 1-1 with an ERA exactly 20 punch outs in 18 innings pitched. Hector Santiago's throwing the ball exceptionally well, 1-0 with a 2.61, 20 punch outs in 20 2/3 innings pitched this season, both with that great fastball.
Yeah, Hector's thrown the ball exceptionally well. That jump in velocity make him even a little bit more difficult to hit. Off to a good start. Andrelton Simmons will lead things off here against Hisashi Iwakuma. Andrelton 0 for 2. Fly ball to right and a ground ball to third.
Very manageable pitch count for Iwakuma to 77, 52 of them strikes. A couple of those strikes left the building though. Cole Calhoun, C.J. Cron. Here's Cole. Hit his second home run of the season.
This one's out to left field. Aoki has to come in, and he'll dive and make the catch. One out. Timed perfectly.
He always makes it look relatively easy out there, doesn't he?
Looks like a fairly routine fly ball. It looked good though.
That big outfielder's glove. Diving in, making the play. Iwakuma liking the play.
1-0 pitch to C.J. Cron. It's Jan, fouls it off. 40,755 tonight here at the Big A for the double logo baseball cap. Gooby, your picture's all over the internet. That demonstration you had earlier of the hat.
Appreciate that.
Your Lou Piniella.
That's always a good thing. Pretty good pitch.
Yeah.
Iwakuma didn't get the call.
Two on. Ground ball left side. Seager has it.
Well, we've seen some smooth fielding third basemen the last few games, all in Chicago with Todd Frazier. Kyle Seager, a Gold Glove winner, third base for Seattle.
Two outs, nobody on. Carlos Perez up. The Angels have Joe Smith getting ready in the bullpen. Cano, Cruz, Seager coming up. Carlos pulls this one to short. Marte has it. The Angels go down in order. That's 7 straight retired by Iwakuma. We'll head to the 8th. Still tied at 2.
Tied at 2. Coming up on the SoCal Mazda dealer post-game show, Nick Tropiano's trying to force his way into the starting rotation permanently. How did he do? Jose Mota's going to break it down. A couple of halo hitters hit the long ball. Neither of them named Pujols and Trout. We got the video evidence. Interesting night for the umpires. And Victor, interesting weekend here as they're going to paint the ballpark orange, show up at the box office in Ducks gear, tell them about the offer. Some tickets as low as $5.
Interesting is one word I would use for that whole umpire situation, Jeannie, but we will certainly go with that one. The other stuff would have to be on cable. Joe Smith on in relief to pitch the 8th, a 2-2 game. Cano, Cruz, and Seager to face the right-hander. Pitched yesterday for a total of 13 pitches, 1 inning, 2 strikeouts. Allowed a hit, but also picked off a man. Fernando Salas worked an inning and 2/3, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. Nice outing for Fernando.
Yeah, good command of his changeup to go along with his fastball also.
Robinson Cano 1 for 2 with a single, a fly ball to center, and a walk. 2 for 6 in his career against Joe. This one's lined to center field. He hit it. He hit it too hard, Gooby.
And a good read off the bat by Trout. That good quick first step. Able to track that one down. Talked about that coverage in the outfield for the Angels. Trout, Calhoun, Ortega tonight. We've seen that from Gentry. We saw it from Nava. A lot of coverage.
Cruz, a sac fly, a strikeout, and a fielder's choice. Fastball missed in. Nobody warming up for Seattle. Iwakuma's at a manageable pitch count. Cruz bounces this one to third. That was a foul ball, is what they're saying at home. 1 ball, 1 strike. Iwakuma's thrown just 84 pitches. Ground ball to third, foul.
Not quite as far in as Joe Smith wanted against Cruz, but still pulled a foul.
One ball, 2 strikes. That is line and snagged by Escobar. What a play! He was ready. He had a couple of foul balls. He got him warmed up.
Is that reactionary position, the hot corner? What a play by Escobar. Good little prep step. Line drive, what a play. He's able to keep that in the glove. A little snow cone.
Yeah.
Great reaction. The umpire's happy also. He can breathe a little bit now after that play.
2 down. Cal Seager at the plate. Tried to bunt his way on the last time. Tropiano threw him out. Two balls and no strikes. Seattle with 2 runs, 6 hits, and stranded 6. And the Angels with 2 runs, 7 hits, have left 3 on base.
The 3-1 pitch. You wonder if he'll throw that changeup.
Popped him up on the third base side. Escobar was playing him at the shortstop position. Joe Smith with a 1-2-3 7th. We'll head to the, or 8th, I should say. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th, tied at 2. For the Angels, mentioned a total of 7 hits for the Halos. And Yunel Escobar snapped it 0 for 16 tonight. A couple of hits and a walk for him. 2 solo home runs. Cole Calhoun, his second of the season. C.J. Cron, his first of the year. And that's where we stand right now. 2-2, bottom of the 8th. And 9-1-2 coming up, trying to figure out his Sasha Iwakuma as his mastery of the Angels continues. Came into tonight's game with an 8-3 mark and a 2.71 ERA. He's given up the 2 home runs, but he's thrown just 84 pitches. And he's retired the sign in order 3 times, including the last 2 innings. Giavatello swinging first pitch, lofts one out to shallow right. Seth Smith is there. 1 pitch, 1 out.
It's happened quite a few times against Iwakuma. You want to be aggressive against him because that's the time you think you might get the fastball from him, first pitch. But he's a very good pitcher. He knows exactly what he wants to do out there on the mound. Made a couple of mistakes, especially that hanging breaking ball. Not a bad pitch through to C.J. Cron, but the hanging breaking ball to Cole Calhoun. First pitch. MVP back in 2008. Japan Pacific League.
2 singles and a walk for Yunel. Ground ball to the right side. Bobbled by Robinson Cano. Finally gets it. And Escobar didn't seem like he was running hard the whole way. Eventually gets thrown out. Two down.
Well, he hit it well, but then the bobble, not once, but twice. Robinson Cano couldn't pick it up. So accurate throw over just gets Escobar at first base. And that foot not on the base when Lynn's able to corral that baseball from Robinson Cano.
So 2 pitches, 2 outs. Rafael Ortega 1 for 3, singled in the first. 9 straight retired by Iwakuma since the single by Escobar in the 5th. Bottom of the third base side foul. Houston Street loosening for the Angels. He'll pitch in the 9th. I misspoke. I said 7 hits for the Angels. Halos had 6 hits. Trout on deck. Reaching for this one. Adam Lind has it. Iwakuma beats Ortega, and the Angels go down quietly here in the 8th. We'll head to the 9th inning. Tied at 2.
Top of the ninth. Let's take a look at the Honda upcoming schedule. Seattle coming in for 2 more. And then Kansas City comes in for 3 starting on Monday. And off to Texas for weekend series. And then follow that with interleague play at Milwaukee. Big game here tonight to be able to pull this one out. Houston Street on the mound now as the score is tied in the 9th inning at 2.
Threw 29 pitches yesterday, got extended. He almost was trying to get a 1-2-3 inning. Made a mistake to Todd Frazier. He hit the home run. Then he walked Cabrera and Laurie before getting Austin Jackson on 1 pitch to fly out at the wall to Craig Gentry and picked up the save. Houston now pitching in his 8th game. Has 4 saves on the year. And for Seattle here in the 9th inning, they've got Lind, Iannetta, and Martin. Lefty, righty, and lefty. Halos in the bottom of the 9th will have Trout, Pujols, Calhoun. You wonder if they do go to the bullpen, even though Iwakuma's pitch count and his effectiveness has been so good. 10 straight retired.
And he's avoided that middle part of the plate for quite some time. I said just a couple of mistakes, even though I wouldn't even say C.J. Cron's was a mistake. It was down, but it was just the middle of the plate.
89 pitches for Iwakuma, the first one from Street in there for a strike on Adam Lind. First baseman, a sac fly in the first, a fly ball to left in the 4th, and had a single in the 6th. Down the line, slicing foul and out of play. Oh, 2 pitch, fastball off the plate.
Good miss though from Houston Street. Gives him options. Backdoor slider, he can throw his changeup again or even try to paint that fastball. So 3 different options on the outer part of the plate.
Lind's only had 1 plate appearance against Street in his career, and it resulted in a walk. Ground ball down the line, that is fair. Over the bag. Carlos Perez throws his arms up, he can't believe it. The throw to second is in time. Nice play by Rafael Ortega. You said it at the beginning, talking about his arm and left.
That is a power arm. Ortega gets around that baseball, put himself in good throwing position, just a little bit the inside of the base, but a firm throw. This one, this hugged right down the line, touching the chalk as it went by the base. But what a throw, gets behind it well and quickly. 1 hops, but it's all about the tag once again. And he tried that swim move to avoid the tag, Adam Lind, but a tag well done again by Simmons.
They're going to challenge it, and I don't know what they're challenging. It looked like the glove hit the finger there. The only thing I thought for a second Service was going to come out and say, no, it was a foul ball. But watch the glove touch the fingers right there before it hits the bag. Can't tell on that angle, but the previous one. So Bill Miller went over and asked Service, what is he challenging? As Mike Sochat thought if Lind would have been safe at second, would challenge the call down the line. Now, whenever there's a challenge, they will look at the entirety of the play.
We've certainly seen a lot of stuff today. See right down the line. Initially, it's on the other side of the chalk line, rolling down. It hits the chalk right there, but it hits the chalk again as it goes by the base.
Yeah.
And right over the base.
The ball's bouncing like that. That's what you're looking for. Challenging to play at second.
That was that swim move to try to avoid a tag. And Scott Service, I don't blame him for trying to take a look at this just in case.
9th inning, 2-2 game.
Yes.
Why not? Andrelton Simmons, when he went to apply the tag as the hand was going in, kind of grazed the fingers of Adam Lind before that left hand touches the base.
And it's funny, Mike Socha said the exact same thing as you see the replay here. He goes, yeah, he got him. mean, that's pretty definitive right there. Yep.
So it'll go as a single for Lynn, an outfield assist for Ortega, 1 down here in the 9th.
We talked about that arm strength, talked about 37 outfield assists from 2011 and 12 in A-ball. I don't care where that's at. That's a great arm. We've seen it twice now in his first 2 outfield assists in the major league level. Tries to avoid the tag, and right there, the contact with the fingers, clearly out. Boy, Simmons does everything well with that glove, including tagging a runner diving into second base.
1 out, nobody on. Chris Iannett at the plate, 1 for 3. Iannett has never faced Houston Street, former battery mate. No balls, 2 strikes. A couple of righties getting ready for Seattle. Trout pulls Calhoun due up in the bottom of the 9th. Ground ball over to third. Escobar has it. 2 down.
Well, even going back to that throw once again by Ortega, what he did as far as getting behind the baseball, how quickly he released the baseball. Firm throw, 1 hopper. How quickly he got rid of it. And then Simmons able to apply the tag on the hand of Adam Lynn, but it was all about the throw, how quick he got rid of the baseball for Ortega.
Such a tough play for a shortstop at that angle, because you have no idea where the base runner's at. It's almost like a catcher taking a throw from right field, not knowing where the base runner's coming from third.
You almost dive into an area.
Yeah.
But that's how special he is.
Down the line, Ortega coming in, calls off Simmons. Way to the bottom of the 9th. Trout, Pujols, Calhoun coming up in a 2-2 game. And 89 pitches. Terrific outing for him. Gives up the 2 solo home runs, nothing more, 3 strikeouts. I want to remind you, you can follow Angels Baseball live with MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game, video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, #1 app for live baseball. The veteran and former Angel, Joel Peralta, takes over on the mound. Slow, slower, slowest for Peralta. He has been around
a long time. Fastballs, 87-91 range, curveball, and very good split finger fastball. He throws quite a few of them, and he will slow down the pace.
Well, they got a couple of guys in their bullpen that'll do that.
Yes.
Joaquin Benoit certainly is capable.
Yes.
Trout to lead things off. He's 0 for 2 in his career against Peralta with a couple of strikeouts. Albert on deck is 3 for 10. Calhoun 0 for 2. Trout tonight 1 for 3. Couple of fly balls to left and a single. First one for Peralta. Breaking ball for a strike. Top part of the zone. Seager guarding the line at third. Marte playing toward that 5-6 hold. And Cano almost up the middle. Outfield very deep, especially in center. Leonis Martin.
Well, if you're Mike Scioscia, this is the exact part of the order you love up having at this point here in the 9th inning in a tie game. Trout, Pujols, Calhoun.
One off the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. Inetta wanted that one, as did Peralta.
Yeah, it's a little off the outside corner though. Fan with the camera to see if Trout can walk off here with a big fly. Done it 3 times in his career.
Two on. Good rip at a fastball, fouls it back, evens the count at 2-2.
1 walk-off home run last year, 2 2014 for Trout. And a pretty good hack at that one. That was the one that he would drive to right center field.
Quick pitch to 1 down.
And that's the one thing Peralta does a lot. Usually you hear the word crafty as far as a left-handed pitcher, but he's got all those tricks. Sneaks that fastball by him.
A 1 out, nobody on, and here's Albert. 0 for 3. Pujols mentioned 3 for 10 against Peralta. 1 double, 1 home run. Martin still very deep in straightaway center. One-0. Seattle with 7 hits, the Angels with 6. Opening game of the series. Mariners struck for 2 in the first as Nick Tropiano had a 26-pitch first inning, but Nick stayed in the ballgame into the 6th. 5 1/3 for him. Rangers got solo home runs to tie it up. Calhoun and Crow. 1-0.
Good rip at that fastball, but just pulled off it enough though to make no contact when Albert's right. He'll hit that ball hard to center field, to right center field. Over his last 22 due to center up a baseball.
Quick pitch. There's the fastball for a strike. 1-2.
Again, you could do that with nobody on base. Remind everybody at home watching the game, you can quick pitch like that. You don't have to go to a stop with no one on, but if there's someone on base, you have to come to a discernible stop.
Does it again. A breaking ball, and Albert reaches for it. Fouls it off.
And just getting in that stretch position, this goes right through with the throw. Unfortunately for Albert, as he looks out at Peralta. Talk about timing for a hitter. Quick pitch like that throws off the timing. He takes forever to throw a baseball, but once he gets in that stretch position, remember, Familia tried to do that to Alex Gordon last year in the World Series. It was Game 1. Tried to quick pitch him. Hits a home run to dead center field.
I think it's more effective when you've got, because of the time that he takes to come set his original motion.
Yeah. He takes a long time normally. He might try it again here. There he goes.
Off speed pitch. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. One out, and we're in the 9th, tied at 2. 2-2 to Albert. Fouled. That one off of Iannetta.
And a piece of that split finger fastball. Most walk-off home runs in MLB history. Albert with 11. Some huge names ahead of him. All Hall of Famers and a future Hall of Famer in Jim Thome leading the pack.
Trout struck out to start the 9th.
He'll try the quick pitch now again.
Two again. Bounce that one out in front of the plate. Full count.
That's one thing you see from Peralta a lot. Walks down towards the home plate area quite a bit. Does he try it one more time?
Figure if Albert gets on, Craig Gentry will come on and pinch run.
I'd be real surprised if he doesn't try a quick pitch here.
Iannetta set up outside. 3-2 on the way. Albert pulls it foul. Mislocation.
And they wanted that fastball away. It was on the inner half of the strike zone, but down.
Nine pitches so far to Pujols. Last hit for Albert, 2-run home run in the first inning of Sunday's game against the Twins. Iannetta once again back outside, 3-2, and Albert drives one out to straightaway center field. Martin at the wall will haul it in. Just off the end of the bat, gave it a ride, but it stays in the yard for out number 2.
Way off the bat, thought it might have a shot. Fastball right down to the outside part of the plate. And Albert, a real good swing to center field. Waved that 396 sign. He just felt that Martin was tracking that well at the wall, runs it down.
And playing deep already.
There's some quick pitches in that at bat, a bunch of pitches in that at bat. Albert almost got him, but Peralta wins the battle.
So 2 down, nobody on. Cole at the plate. 1 for 4 with a home run in the 4th. Second of the season, 7th run batted in. Breaking ball. Missed down and away.
We showed those numbers for Cole, those first 2 pitches of him in the bat. 389.
(1-0). Cole fouls it back.
Back to the 4th inning on a curveball from Iwakuma. Left no doubt how far this was going to go to get out of the ballpark. A second of the season for Cole Calhoun.
Got those Popeye forearms. One pitch. 2-1. Peralta now ready. 3-1. Simmons on deck. See Ryan Netta's set up away. This one pulled right to second. Robinson Cano has it. Halos go down in order. We'll head to the 10th. Tied at 2. Games on TV. You now can stream games live on your mobile device. Just go to your app store, download the free Fox Sports Go app, log in, stream the Angels wherever you go. Top of the 10th. Tied at 2. Jose Alvarez takes over on the mound for the Angels. Houston straight to scoreless 9th inning. Allowed a hit. Was helped out by the outfield assist. Rafael Ortega. Jose pitching in his 9th game. No record. He's worked 6 1/3 innings. He's He's allowed 7 hits, struck out 5 and walked 1. His ERA at 4.26. He's got Ketel Marte, Nori Aoki, and Seth Smith. So a switch hitter and then 2 lefties before you get to Robinson Cano. You don't want to get to Robinson Cano.
No. Tomorrow night.
Hector Santiago, Felix Hernandez tomorrow night. 6:05 start. Fireworks after the game.
That's going to be a lot of fun, that game. As this one has been so far.
Ketel Marte lining the first pitch into center. It's a leadoff single. 2-hit game for Marte. Now you've got to pay attention to him at first.
Might see a bunt right now.
Aoki, a double, a walk, a ground down, and a strikeout. 1 for 3. Escobar in on the grass. Bunt, first base side. Carlos Perez has it. Throws to first. They get the out.
That was a pretty good play. It's a gutsy play by Carlos Perez using the bare hand. Field that bunt and throw the first base. Bunt calling off C.J. Cron to cover that one and throw the first base all in one motion. It's played by Carlos. A lot of confidence in his ability to make a play.
Franklin Gutierrez is going to pinch hit here for Seth Smith. He finishes the game going 1 for 3 with a single and a walk. Gutierrez, a free agent in the offseason, re-signing with Seattle. At .292 last year in 59 games. Also had 15 home runs and 35 runs batted in.
Not that long ago, a couple years ago, it looked like he was going to be done. He worked hard to get back. Been solid back at the major league level. Always a very good outfielder.
Ketel Marte. Base runner at second. Carlos going to go out and talk things over with Alvarez. Leadoff single for Marte. Off speed, up the middle, base hit. Marte being waved around. Trout comes up firing. The throw get cut off. And Seattle has taken the lead 3-2 here in the 10th.
Gutierrez has always been a very solid hitter when healthy. Now went up the middle. Driving in Marte.
So man at first with 1 out. 3-2 Seattle here in the 10th. And here's Robinson Cano, 1 for 3. Single back in the first inning. Cano 1 for 2 in his career against Alvarez. 1-1. Steve Cishek getting ready now for Seattle. Two and one. You can't fall asleep on Franklin over at first base. He'll take the bag if you give it to him.
And if he gets this right, goes on first movement, it's going to be very difficult to throw him out.
2-1 pitch. 3-1. Nelson Cruz on deck. Leadoff single, a sac bunt, and a base hit. Full count. Angels in the bottom of the 10th have Simmons, Cron, and Perez as their scheduled 3 batters to face Cishek. Three-2. Popped up. Shallow center. Simmons going out. Camping underneath it. Drops the baseball. Ortega picks it up, fires to second, and they got him at second on the force out. Nice play by Johnny Giavitello.
Yeah, tough little scoop he had to make on that play. Simmons unable to catch that, but good job as far as backing up by Ortega, and a quick throw and a scoop by Giavitello.
Fielder's choice. That's how Cano reaches. 2 outs. Cruz takes a strike. Nelson Cruz tonight 0 for 3. Did have a sac fly back in the first as he notched his 8th run batted in. Lined out to Escobar his last time up. Pretty good pitch.
That's a lot of the strike zone again. We set it often. Lower part of the strike zone.
One and 2. Alvarez ready. Cano over at first. 1-2 to Nelson. He fouls it off.
Ran another fastball in and jammed him. We'll see a steady diet of those hard fastballs in tomorrow night against Hector Santiago.
He's looking ahead to the bottom of the 10th inning. Not many guys have experience against Cishek, the former Marlin. Simmons has a couple of hits in his career against him. 2 balls, 2 strikes near on Cruz. Foul back.
Did Jose Mota not make that play?
There's 2 gloves over there. Neither guy got it. Unbelievable. That's a double error. Full count. way in off the plate. That means Cano's going to get a head start over at first base. Kyle Seager is on deck. 18 pitches thrown by Alvarez. Trying to keep it a one-run deficit. Cano takes off, 3-2, hammer to left. Pulling up is Ortega. That is gone. That gets out of here just to the left of the tall wall and snuck it out. It's a two-run shot, and it extends the Seattle Mariners lead. 5-2 Mariners.
Yeah, one too many fastballs that didn't get to the location he wanted in that at bat. The 29th career home run for Nelson Cruz against the Angels. Almost a cut fastball, spinning action on it, didn't get it inside enough, but he brought his hands up and then threw that baseball well. Showed a graphic earlier as far as home runs the last couple of seasons. Nelson Cruz at the top, Trout right behind him. Jose Bautista third.
Third home run of the season for Cruz. A 3 RBI game. Now he's got 10 on the season. Jose Alvarez getting knocked around here in the 10th inning. One and two. Been kind of an up and down, I should say, start to Alvarez's season. With a couple of outings which he's looked very sharp, others that just can't fool many hitters. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he's had issues against right-handers.
He cannot afford to miss location. That's exactly what he did to Cruz.
Seager lifts this one out to Ortega. This one's playable. That'll do it for Seattle. They score 3 at the top of the 10th. The Angels have an uphill battle, down 5-2. Owners 400 as Kurt Busch looks to defend his title from last year at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, only on Fox, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Halos down 5-2, bottom of the 10th. Steve Cishek takes over on the mound. He has 3 saves on the year for the Seattle Mariners. And he's looking for a save number 4, pitching in his 8th game. 1-1 mark, 8 innings, 1 earned run. Signing a 2-year deal in this offseason with the Seattle Mariners. He was with the Marlins, came up with them as a former 5th-round pick, and then last year got traded to the St. Louis Cardinals, finished up there before signing with Seattle.
Cishek throws a lot of sliders. Fastballs 90-93 range, but slider throws about 48% of his pitches sliders. Frankie Gutierrez out in right field with that big RBI single.
Andrelton Simmons takes outside, 0 for 3. 2 fly ball outs and a ground out. I'll leave it a count. Seattle with 10 hits tonight. The Halos with 6. Joel Peralta went 1 inning. He worked a scoreless 9th, retiring Trout, Pujols, Calhoun in order. 1-2 now.
Still just looking for the offense to take off, averaging less than 3 runs a game, 2.9 runs per game.
Oh, bouncer towards short. Marte off balance throw. 1 down.
It's a pretty good indication that strong throwing arm that Marte has. So many really good shortstops now in baseball, young shortstops. That's a good play. Coming in on the baseball, the quick transfer from the glove to the throwing arm, and then a perfect firm throw over the first base. Gets Simmons.
As far as the division, doesn't get any better than this one, that's for sure.
No,
as far as shortstops.
Absolutely not. This is talent galore, that shortstop position in this division.
Cron 1 for 3 with a home run in the 5th. Time called. Cliff Pennington's come out to the on deck circle. There's a frisbee slider from Cishek. 1-2. A lot of arms and legs coming at you. That funky delivery hides the ball well. And good sink on the fastball.
Real good sink. A true sinker slider pitcher.
Lifted down the line. Gutierrez not going to get there.
See how he drives towards the plate. A high leg kick, hiding the baseball well, throws the glove, the arm, and then bam, there's the arm angle to be able to try to see the baseball and make good contact. Difficult to do so.
Jumps off that mound, kind of like Jordan Walden and Carter Capps. Okay, maybe nothing like Carter Capps.
Yeah,
that's a different.
Yes,
that's in a different world, stratosphere. Two balls, 2 strikes. Cron goes down swinging, 2 down.
That big slider. The rotation starts on the outside corner and it ends up almost in the left-handed batter's box.
Pennington slices it foul. Three for 15 so far this year with 3 runs batted in. Tomorrow night, 6:05 start, 5:30 Angels live. Hector Santiago against Felix Hernandez.
Great pitching matchup tomorrow night.
2 balls, 1 strike. Mariners 1 strike away, picking up the opening game of this 3-game set. First meeting between these 2 teams this season. Paddington bounces this one to Cano. And the Angels drop the opener to the Seattle Mariners by the final of 5-2.
Seattle improves to 3-1 in extra innings. Couple big at bats. Gutierrez with a base hit, and then Nelson Cruz with a 2-run home run as Seattle wins game 1 of this 3-game set.
Joel Peralta picks up the win in relief. Jose Alvarez suffers the loss. Steve Cishek notches his 4th save as the Angels drop game 1 against Seattle. Final 5-2. Stick around. Angels Live post game is coming up next.